What if I told you that you don't have to compete in business in the new world? You have to unlock your charisma and find your unique positioning. And in this video, I will help you find your unique brand voice and also persona so that clients come to you and stay for you. And this means that you don't have to do any of the manipulative things such as trigger people or undercut, and you're simply being yourself and being your best self because you know what your unique strength is, and you radiate charisma, you radiate leadership because you know who you are and you know the gifts that you hold, and you're able to share those with the world and provide the most value that you can. Because the problem is that we sometimes try and fit a different persona that we think will sell, but it's not really us, meaning that we are not stepping into our full potential. So, as a numerologist, I will help you. Let's just talk about the matter with AI. As you understand, people want realness, they want more authenticity. I feel like people really are repelled by AI generated content, by scripts that don't sound human. And this is great news for people that are the face of their brand, that offer their own services, whether it's teaching, coaching, online or offline. And if this is you, then this video is perfect. Even if you have a e-commerce business, let's say, but you market these things in your blog or online and you're the face of your brand, this video will still help you. This video is not for you if you are behind the scenes and you don't post yourself or you don't market yourself or advertise yourself. So save yourself the time. So, now is more important than ever to have a personal brand. Such a big buzzword, you're probably sick of hearing it, but this is important, and I'm going to show you a more unique take, which is numerology. And if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to see a little bit deeper and actually find things that are not so obvious, then you will be glad to have watched this video. I will go through all of the numbers 1 to 9 and explain to you how this works. But firstly, I'll introduce myself. My name is Sabina and I do numerology, but I'm also a dance teacher. And if you're thinking, why is she talking about this? Who is she? She's got such a small following on YouTube, this account. Well, actually, I'm a belly dance teacher and I run a Swan belly dance online school. So I have a separate Instagram account called Swan Belly Dance, and the account is steadily growing, and I sell my online courses. And I've been able to sell my products. I've grown my page to 22,000 on Instagram. I also have a Swan Belly Dance YouTube channel. So I have been in the game for some time now and make sales. So I know about brand positioning and also selling yourself, and of course selling your own product. And actually numerology has been such a big help. Before, I used to try and be this more entertainer creator where I would just post my dance videos and I didn't really make expert reels. But then I did a numerology course and found out more about yourself, and this is where things really took off for me. So, on that note, I'll explain why this worked for me. First of all, we'll start with group number 1. These are people that are born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, and the 28th of any month. You guys are number 1s. Because if you add all of those numbers, let's say 2 plus 8, you get 10, single digit is a 1, or 1 plus 9 is a 10, and again, that's a single digit. So I'm a 1 myself. I was born on the 19th. The gift that these people have is that they are leaders and they are supposed to lead others with their knowledge, with their talent, and show people the way. They need to be assertive. And before, I never used to make talking head videos and I didn't really teach, so I didn't give expertise. And then I started doing so, and alongside dance tutorials, I actually started doing more talking heads within belly dance. And this worked really well for me and it really sold. And the specific thing that I started doing is doing what I'm doing now. I started stating things, telling people what is the right way, and really asserting myself as an expert. Even I'll say that number ones need to be more direct and almost more blunt. You need to drop the fear of sounding like you know it all or being incorrect, and instead just step into the leadership and actually take ownership. So you could have a rather cold stance, but of course it will also be fused with your personality. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to really state the facts and you need to tell people what they need to do. You need to tell people what is wrong and what is right. You need to be really direct in telling people this is not the way you do this. Instead, do this. Or you could be even more direct and say, you're going to fail if you do this, because you actually have that natural assertiveness about you, and people will follow. There will be loads of people that will be attracted to that persona of yours. You can mix it up. I'm not saying that this is the only kind of talking style that you should have, but I would really lean into that if you have not already. And if you want to learn more about your gifts, but also your blocks and what's stopping you from A, being a leader expert, B, what's stopping you from selling, and C, what are the things you need to overcome, then I give more in depth personal numerology readings, and you can find the link in the bio. And we can look at your career sector, we can look at your personality to help you sell. And if you're not sure, then I do offer a free discovery call. Next, we have the number twos. These are people born on the 2nd, 11th, 20th, and the 29th. The reason 29 is also a 2 is because 2 plus 9 is 11, and if you add it to a single digit, that is 2. So you guys are more softer than the number ones because you're very empathetic and you're able to connect people with people on a emotional level, and that is your selling point. You are supposed to create more of a bond, an emotional bond, and you're supposed to support people emotionally. So, for example, as an expert or a teacher, you would use phrases like, I understand I was in your position, but I've been through it and I know that you can do it too. A more warmer stance. Also, because you are so relationship focused, like you're people's people, you make great communities. You're great at socializing and really creating those relationships. For example, number ones, so I'm a one, I tend to be quite to myself. Like it takes a lot of energy for me to always be social. But with number twos, you actually gain energy by being with people. And so you create a really social atmosphere and you can be like the best friend archetype for your clients. And this will feel very natural and this will create a very warm and friendly atmosphere that they just won't be able to replace. So try and lean into that. Come out of your shell, and the block that you need to overcome is to stop trying to wait for permission. You know, number twos have an issue of leading and actually stepping out of their comfort zone and actually going for something. So, if you're an expert that has a talent or you are knowledgeable in something, you really need to put yourself out there, because number twos tend to be behind someone and they like taking orders. But I honestly think that there's such a big opportunity online or offline these days, because you can market yourself on social media, that I think you are going to fall short if you don't try and, you know, offer your own services. And I reckon that if you're watching this video, then you probably are, or you're thinking of going down that route. So don't be afraid. Next, we have the number threes. If you want to get a more in-depth reading, then I offer numerology readings online. We can look at your strengths, your talents, but also things that are standing in your way when it comes to stepping into your charisma or your money. So we can look at what strengths you have in your money, and you'll be able to unlock your money potential that really sells. If you're not sure about which one of these things suit, you can find a list of my readings in the link in the bio, and I also offer a free discovery call just to help you get started. Next, we have number threes. These are people born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, and 30th of any month. You guys are very bubbly and you tend to be quite energetic and expressive. You're very entertaining, and this is your selling point. You're very bright, you light up the room, and you tend to be quite artistic whenever you talk. So, let's say you're a teacher, you don't just teach, you have the ability and the talent to do it in a really bright way, a bit like I'm doing, because I have a 3 in my date of birth as well. And you really need to step into that. You need to understand that within you lies this actor or actress, and you're able to use facial expressions, you're able to use different voice tones to engage people, and you are able to inspire them and create this mood. So you're not boring, and you really shouldn't be this monotone expert that just reads by the book. No, you need to be alive. You need to step into more playfulness in a way. So, if you struggle with that, then perhaps doing acting exercises where you practice, let's say, reading a book and you try and deliver it in a really engaging way, will really help you. Although I think for most of you, this won't be an issue. In terms of your blocks when it comes to your selling point or your brand voice, it is losing touch of a structure, because as an expert or a teacher, whatever, yes, you want to be playful and charismatic, but you also need to not forget about the expert side, the technical side, and still provide that structure where your clients, they understand how they're being led, they understand the algorithm. So a lot of number threes, they struggle with having a set structure and consistency. So to summarize, what your clients would love, and what would feel most authentic coming from you, is really inspiring and lighting up the way for others. So, number threes are the type of people where you look at them and you kind of want to be like them, like they inspire you. It's sort of the typical influencer from back in the day kind of archetype. They kind of show themselves, they have this bubbly personality, and people just really like watching them, even if they're just talking about their life, their day in my life. But they do it with such persona that it's really entertaining. So, if you want to learn more about your strengths, I offer a numerology reading. And you don't just look at the date of birth or your day of birth, we actually work out your numerology matrix, which shows us so much more, like your blocks, your hidden talents. And we can go into your career sphere. How do you unlock more money potential within yourself? And you can find this in the link in the bio. And if you're unsure about what you're looking for, then I do offer a free discovery call so we can work it out together and you can see if it resonates. Next, number fours. These are people born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, and also the 31st of any month. You guys are people of structure and you're very grounded. And that is really cool because people instantly trust you when you give them clear steps, when you give them a clear structure in whatever it is that you teach or offer. For example, in my numerology readings, I don't exactly teach you, but of course, I'm going to tell you what your numbers say about you. And if I was a 4, I would be really good at explaining it in a really clear way. Even the way I would deliver it would be very, very structured. And also, I would probably create these tables, PDFs that you could take so that it's, again, very structured. There's no blabbing, there's no yapping, there's no playfulness as such. Like, it's not about the jokes, you're just straight to the point. And that is very valuable a lot of the time because people want to see a clear answer, they want to learn clear steps. They want to have the algorithm on how to achieve certain things. They want to understand things. And this is what you're really good at. You're also really good at bringing calm in chaos because you guys are very hard headed. It's really hard to throw you guys off track because you're so stable in yourself, you're so calm, and in a way, I'd say you guys are stubborn in your beliefs and what you think. And that's great because you have strong opinions and you're very stable. You've got a strong foundation. And people are very drawn to that because sometimes people, they don't have a strong foundation. They need to feel more at peace about something, or they need hard facts because they may be unsure. For example, people that feel really lost in their life come to a numerologist, and if the numerologist is a number 4, they provide that calm and stability, and they can really turn all of the chaos in someone's mind, all of the weird projections or thought problems or problems that I've just made up, and actually set things in stone and make things very clear for someone. And that is very valuable. So I would look to make clear structure for people and also inspire people to be more disciplined and be more organized because that is another one of your strengths. And with your example, or with the way you teach something, or with the kind of layout or setup of your service, you can really bring that organization into people's lives. So that is your strength. Make sure you display it. Using your date of birth, we can actually work out more numbers, and we can work out your numerology matrix, which shows us so much more information like your blocks, hidden talents, and we can look at different spheres like your character, which will help you to sell. We can look at your career, which will help you to unlock your earning potential, but also show us what kind of things you can translate into your business. There's so much more that we can look at, and in the link in the bio, you can see all of the different services I offer. And if you're unsure, we can also do a free discovery call to see if it aligns with you. Thank you so much for watching. Next, we have the number 5s. These are people born on the 5th, 14th, and the 23rd of any month. You guys have this slightly rebellious side, like unconventional, whilst also understanding the rules of things and the systems and having set systems in play. And this is a really cool contrast. I'll explain what I mean. First of all, you understand systems very well. Like, your mind is very analytical. You can explain things that are very difficult in very simple terms. And in a way, you do respect and value rules or customs that have been in the past, but you're always looking to jump outside of that and move on to the next level. For example, as an expert, you might have a really good understanding of technique or a business structure. But as an expert, you've got this innovative mind that then looks at, well, okay, how can we transform that and make it even more modern or make it different and unconventional, new as well? And this is the really cool thing about you. You've got that innate talent to transform. Perhaps you can transform, or perhaps you can just make something more exciting, unconventional. For example, as a dance teacher, you've got the technique, you can set out the structure of the class really well, but you actually create new ways of teaching and learning, perhaps something more exciting, maybe games, and that would be really cool and something different that others don't do. For your brand voice, I would really translate that breaking away from the norms. You can use comparisons. You could say things like, here's why this doesn't work in 2026, for example. Or you could say, this is what you've been doing wrong. Also, in terms of persona, you can really translate your more exciting, perhaps upbeat side and not just be super conservative, because number fives, they can have two extremes. They can either be super conservative, very by the book, either very formal and professional, or they can be like crazy. Like they could be so out there, rebellious, energetic, and just, like you need to ground yourself sometimes. So having more of a balance but still owning that more dynamic side would be really cool. And if you want to find other strengths, perhaps other traits within you that you want to unlock and you will have in you, then I offer a numerology reading on your character. I also offer numerology readings on your career, and the cool thing is that there is so much more than your date of birth. We can actually work out a whole numerology matrix that shows us your blocks, your hidden talents, and we can look at different spheres like your money or your love if you're interested. But you can find all of the services in the link in the bio, and I also offer a free discovery call if you're unsure and you want to see if numerology resonates with you. Next, we have the number sixes. These are people born on the 6th, 15th, and the 24th of any month. You guys are so lovely. You have this very warming persona. You make people feel at home because number 6 is the number of love, comforts, the home as well. And so this is your inner strength that you don't even have to try. It's very comforting being with you, and it's really important that you make people feel good and you open your heart, because within you actually lies so much love, and this will make people feel like your space or your service, your reading, consultation, whatever, is very intimate and they leave it feeling good. So you're able to share that love through your work, through the way you work with people, or through your product, and really activate that self-love in people. However, some of you might not resonate with this because maybe you offer a service like, I don't know, a gym workout, or you teach people tech or investing, and so there's not really space for that intimate connection or love or acceptance, self-acceptance. So the other cool thing about number sixes and their inner strength is that they're very idyllic, meaning that they always strive for the perfect picture, for things to be correct, and not just like aesthetically, but in general. Like they want everyone to be happy, they want things to be perfect, to work well. And so let's say you're in something like finance or tech. Like Steve Jobs, you try and perfect things either by making the processes in your business more efficient, or by making something more comfortable to use, because actually comfort is a big theme for number 6. Remember, I said it's the number of comfort, of home, and perhaps you just want to make things more aesthetic in terms of how your product, your physical product, is designed, because aesthetics is another big theme for the numbers. You are actually amazing at selling an idea, because you're so good at painting that perfect picture in people's minds. You are so good at inspiring people to look for better, to strive for better. For example, let's say you're in a corporate job or you're a seller. You are amazing at convincing people of why an idea is great, because like I said, you've got this skill of painting a really cool picture using your imagination and activating other people's imagination because you're so idyllic. So really use that. If you guys want to see what other strengths you have, then I offer numerology readings. And mind you, we can go so much deeper because using your date of birth, we can work out your numerology matrix, and it's not obvious from just your date of birth. So if you want to check out all of the different readings I have, from love to career, then it's in the link in the bio. If you want to see if numerology even resonates, then you can book a free discovery call and ask me anything that's been bothering you. Thank you for watching. Next we have the number 7s. These are people born on the 7th, 16th, and the 25th of any month. So you guys are very deep. You are naturally very intelligent because you constantly try and make sense of things. You try and explain to yourself why things are a certain way. You try to see through things and find out every little detail about it, and that is your strength. And the way you could translate that in your brand and your brand voice is that you can speak about the historical facts. Perhaps you're in an industry where there's a lot of science or technology. And so your strength lies in the fact that you deliver factual knowledge, giving you more credibility as an expert. So whatever industry you are in, whether it's beauty, whether it's dance like myself, you really need to do your research and translate all of that knowledge that you acquire, because you are good at that. And ultimately, the kind of service that people get from you is they come out and they now understand, wow, I've just found out something so deep that is not so obvious, something more scientific, something more technological about this thing that you're offering. And they feel like, yeah, they've really deepened their knowledge and they know something that others don't. So going deeper, going into more scientific or even spiritual sometimes insights is a great selling point. Another thing that you're really good at is setting out strategy. So instead of just, for example, as a dance teacher, selling or teaching in a way that's, fun, yeah, we do this, let's have a laugh, let's just let loose, you can actually offer people the idea that, you can take this further, we can create a strategy for you. And again, use your facts, your knowledge to show them what else is possible. For example, as a makeup artist, you might tell people more about, what is your skin type and how could we now support your skin type to prevent further breakouts. And you'd go into more research, and you could even make, like, I don't know, a premium or a higher ticket offer consultation, and people will really trust you because when you explain things, you are quite intellectual and you're able to gather a lot of information and hit people with the facts, which is a really cool skill because not everyone's going to look that deep, and so that will be what makes you look more professional. And if you want to get a deeper understanding of what your strengths are, how you can utilize them in business, I offer numerology readings, which you can find in the link in the bio. But there are also other spheres we can look at, like career, love, money, health. And if you want to see if numerology resonates with you, I do offer a free discovery call. So you can ask me anything, or I could just lead the consultation. Thank you for watching. Next, we have the number 8. People born on the 8th, on the 17th, and the 26th of any month. You guys are about power. And this is your selling point. You can uplift others. You've got this authority about you. You're very bold. And you guys can motivate people and give people the pep talk like no one else. You've got this CEO energy that's all about scaling, striving for the bigger result. And you would be so good at motivating people, even if it's just for fun. Like, let's say you do Zumba classes, you could still give them such energy that really pumps them up. And actually, if you're more creative and emotionally led, like your business is more emotionally led and you're a content creator, so you can really make things more dramatic, which is a selling point because people like to feel emotions. They want to be emotionally charged. Or if you are, let's say, a business coach, then you would be great at selling that power and expansion and status, because the number 8 is very expansive and it's all about power, big results. And so this is what you can lead with. You can really tell and sell to people that look where you can be, or this is how you scale. One creator comes to mind when it comes to business, Alex Hormozy. I don't really watch his videos, but to me he comes across as a very like results focused, work and achieve these big results like him. And so that is the kind of brand voice that you can lead and lean into. You can lead with that and lean into it. If you guys are looking to find more inner strength and refine your personal brand, then you can book a numerology reading with me where we will look at even more numbers and gather a whole matrix which show us your blocks, your strengths, more strengths that we haven't been able to talk about today because it will be here all day. And we can actually look at specific spheres of your life, like your career, how to grow in that. Perhaps love is something you're interested in, and you can find the list of all of these in the link in the bio. Alternatively, you can book a free discovery call where we can see if numerology resonates and we can look at an issue that's bothering you. Thank you for watching. Next, we have the number 9s. These are people born on the 9th, 18th, and the 27th of any month. So you guys, whether you realize it or not, are very deep and almost spiritual people. I'm not saying that all of you are going to be like me, where you're into mysticism and, numerology, astrology, and all of those things. But you have that innate way of thinking where you look deeper. You look into things that are not so obvious. You kind of, think outside of the box, but you try and lean into things that people can't see, and you actually connect the dots that people wouldn't have otherwise thought of. Now, your unique brand voice and what would really sell if you were to position yourself like that is to sell inner transformation and to go beyond just the obvious thing that you are offering. So I'll give you an example. I actually have a lot of number 9s in my date of birth. I'm born on the 19th, but I was born in 1999, so a lot of number 9s. And I am a spiritual person, obviously. And with my dance courses, I don't just sell dance and technique and learning how to dance. I sell feminine transformation, where I have a course where we work on a feminine archetype. So it's going beyond. So really, this could be more of a psychological thing. Let's say you're a nutritionist. You teach people how to eat healthy, how to have better habits in your everyday, but you position it in a way where you say, learn these things, implement these habits, and you'll never have to diet again, or you'll never have problems in overeating. So you don't just sell that particular thing, action, or result, you actually sell almost like a lifestyle or a mindset change. So there's a lot of work with the mind and changing your perspective on things, perhaps. And this is actually something that you naturally give to people. A lot of the time, when you're in the presence of a number 9, you really feel that transformation and change that they give, and they're not even trying. But they almost have this healing ability whereby they can help you get out of a difficult situation by explaining something or talking about something in a way that really changes someone's perspective, because they go deeper, they find new solutions, or they give you some really wise advice. You basically need to step into your sage archetype. If you don't know what that is, it's the wise person, someone that's more philosophical. That this whole video is basically a sage kind of video, because I'm telling you about your personal brand and how to position yourself in business, but I'm doing it through numerology, which is not something that is obvious. For example, with the nutritionist, let's say you're doing a nutritionist presentation, you go deeper by asking people, what is it that's keeping you addicted to this junk food? Because it's all good us changing our diet and having these diet plans, but somewhere inside we're probably doing it because we're feeling a void. We're probably doing it because we're stress eating. And as an expert, you help people come to that. And this will be the magic solution and the service that you provide to people, because some experts, they don't like to look that deep, or their way of thinking and their teaching style is not going to be one that looks deeper and offers that transformation. For example, number 3s, they like to make things just more fun and entertaining. So I don't think that inner transformation that's spiritual will be their thing. But because you naturally think about things that way, when you do something like that, it will be way more effective than if a number 3 was to do that. And this is the whole point of the video. As a reminder, this is to say that yes, all of these things have their own strengths, but what is that strength that's the most powerful coming from you? And using numerology, this is what we are able to find. Please guys, let me know in the comments if this resonated, and I offer numerology readings where we can look deeper, because your date of birth alone is not the full picture. We actually work out a numerology matrix where we can look at your gifts, your blocks, and we can look at specific spheres like your career, your love. And if you want to see whether this resonates at all and you want to have a little taster, I offer free discovery calls. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please support the channel, because I'll know that this is useful, and my goal ultimately is to help people to craft their life, find their mission, and be of service to the world.